deals that didn't get done, and we're going to start things off with the lead of the day so far. Tracy McGrady traded to the New York Knicks as part of a 3-team deal with the Rockets and the Kings. Now, the Knicks will be McGrady's 4th team, and he'll be a free agent at the end of the season. And Kevin Martin is now a member of the Houston Rockets. The 27-year-old has spent his entire career with the Kings. Martin only played 22 games this season because of a wrist injury. Now, he was averaging about 20 points a game so far this year. A nice young talent. And the Rockets would get Kevin Martin, one of 7 players to average at least 20 points in each of the last 4 seasons, as well as Hilton Armstrong, Kenny Thomas, and Sergio Rodriguez. Now, in exchange, the Kings would receive Tracy McGrady, Carl Landry, Joey Dorsey, and the Knicks would get Sergio Rodriguez and Tracy McGrady. The Kings, Landry, Dorsey, and Larry Hughes. Now, there's a look at the details. When you look at the deal, guys, there's short-term and long-term implications. Chris, let's start things off with the Houston Rockets right now, just on the fringes of the playoff picture in the Western Conference, number 9.
Well, you added Kevin Martin. You needed some scoring lift, so I think this helps them. You hate to lose Carl Landry. That's the big downfall for the Rockets. But overall, I love what they did. I love what Jim Daryl Morey did. You took a guy in Tracy McGrady that you weren't getting anything from, and you turned it into Kevin Martin, Jordan Hill, who we don't know what he can become, but he does have a skill set that looks like it would be productive in a Rick Adelman system. Then you get 2 first-round picks from the New York Knicks that, let's face it, if they don't kill this summer and get some blockbuster free agents, those will be very good picks.
Well, now everything that you see the Houston Rockets doing is about the future. A year ago when they signed Ron Artest, they said, let's try to make a run for it right now. But as Tracy McGrady broke down, as Yao Ming broke down, they had to start thinking about planning ahead. So now you do that with the draft picks in the near future, trying to get into this playoff spot. You did get that score in Kevin Martin, and they needed a closer. I spoke to a member of the organization yesterday. He was saying, you know, we don't have that guy that can really finish. Aaron Brooks is still learning on the job. Trevor Ariza's expanded role compared to what he had in L.A., he's still learning on the job. But now Kevin Martin, a guy who can fill it up, maybe get some late-game buckets for them as well. But I don't like the fact that you took on Kevin Martin's salary with another $35 million or so over the next 3 years, and you gave up Carl Landry. They've been a great inside presence, possibly the 6th man of the year. So all these things going on, and actually the BlackBerry buzz right before we came on the air and said actually Phoenix tried to get in on some of this. Potentially Amari Stoudemire could have been part of this, but it didn't go through.
We'll talk about Stoudemire in just a moment, Jalen.
The big name, Tracy McGrady. If you're the Knicks, you get a trial run to see what he has. We know that he's been a great player when healthy. He's not been so great the last couple of seasons. He's been in and out of the lineup. So that's what they get a chance to do. Their goal still stays the same. Try to sign 2 max guys this summer and change their fortunes because obviously they've been struggling the last few years. If you're Houston, who would have thought? This team actually improved with Yao Ming being out. The futures seem to be secure. They have first-round picks. You mentioned all of the people that they have in the trade, and I really like what they did. And if you're the Sacramento Kings, you're trying to change the face of your team. You understand now you got a star point guard in Tyreke Evans. You want to build the team around him.
And you get some salary space as well, but not nearly as much as the New York Knicks. By doing this deal, they position themselves to be about $30 million under the salary cap. Make a run for 2 players.
You talk about the New York Knicks. Word just coming in right now that Nate Robinson, the slam dunk champ of the New York Knicks, just traded to the Boston Celtics in exchange for Eddie House. We'll have details on that in just a few moments. What does this do for the Celtics that won the championship just 2 years ago, but it seems longer, Chris?
I like it a lot. Now, does it put them over the top? Does it make them the favorite over Cleveland in the East? I don't believe so. But that team needed some energy off the bench. Eddie House been a great guy for them, hitting 3-pointers off the bench. But Nate Robinson will be a spark plug for them. They were looking for a backup point guard. I think this is kind of a breath of fresh air in Boston.
Well, it's a breath of fresh air for Nate Robinson as well. Obviously, he clashed with Coach Mike D'Antoni in New York. Maybe you get to Boston, and with the leadership there, when you have presence in the locker room like Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, experienced veteran champions now. Maybe Nate Robinson will fall in line. He can get distracted sometimes on the court. Of course, he had that incident where he shot at the other team's basket.
It was into the quarter.
Didn't like that. It didn't count, but still, D'Antoni didn't like the gesture. He's not going to be pulling those type of stunts in the Boston Celtics with all those serious veteran guys around.
Guys, the trade deadline is sometimes about if it doesn't make dollars, it doesn't make sense. And you take a look at the dollars and cents next year for the New York Knicks. They only have 4 players currently on the roster for next season. Eddie Curry is the only significant salary on the books. He has a player option, but is highly unlikely to exercise it and opt out. The Knicks currently have the most cap space available this summer.